Okay. Again, I'm going to be focusing on strategy really for list building. This will be some of the stuff that you've seen before. As I've said before, keeping it simple is just so important. And I am definitely someone who complicated list building from the start. When we move on to talk about traffic later, again, I'll make it as simple as I possibly can for you. And these aren't principles that aren't effective or aren't proven. What I'm telling you is truly, what is working in my business and what you should be focusing on. So first of all, I just want to talk about why list building is so powerful. For many of you who've been around my coaching or training for a few weeks, you'll know it's the first thing that I really drill as a message for people watching this at home. Many people totally underestimate the power of list building. We actually have an SFM affiliate. Martin had a 40-minute conversation with him last week, and this guy is doing, tens of thousands a month on affiliate marketing with Amazon and everything else? I mean, he's doing a lot of money online already. Very, very effective marketer, really knows, but he's never, ever built a list. And this is a guy who is multiple six figures online, but until he came across my training, had never got this concept of list building. Now, I came across the concept of list building in my franchise experience. And the reason being is because I started Googling and researching never cold call, not cold calling, how to not cold call. And I was trying to learn all this stuff. And I came across this guy called Frank. I can't pronounce his surname, but I think his website's nevercoldcallagain.com.
Rambuscus, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Rambuscus, yeah. And, I just loved his sales message. He was just like, cold calling is dead. There was no beating around the bush. There was no sort of like, I don't want to offend people that cold call. He was like, it's dead. It is the old way. If you're still cold calling, I don't care if you're a huge corporate company or whether you're a one-man band, if you're cold calling in your business, you're absolutely wasting your time. It is a dead strategy. People don't want to receive the cold calls. People don't want to do them. It's not an effective way. It's one of the least ways of giving first and receiving second. It just defeats all object. So I bought his course and I came across this principle, and it was just like list building. I was like, okay, so you build a list and you can send emails to those subscribers, but I had no bloody idea how powerful that was going to be. Now, what happens is, for most people, they understand affiliate marketing is a great strategy. They understand that, you drive some links and you send some traffic, you get your ClickBank links, and if somebody purchases, you get money. But what people don't appreciate that is if you don't build the list of subscribers, one, you're never going to get repeat buys, and two, you've got one chance. You've got one chance to make that sale. Now, back in the day when internet marketing was easy, which it was before my time, people would just drive traffic and they'd get clicks and people would make sales. Buying online was a novelty. You saw something, it ticked the boxes, you got your credit card out. Now, there is so much free information out there. There is so much content. Getting someone to pull out their credit card is not how it used to be. The novelty has worn off. Therefore, you have to list build to effectively make money on the internet for multiple reasons that we will be covering. Many of you all know how much I talk about relationship building and everything else, but I just want to make a point to show you how powerful list building is. And I want to tell you, again, a very quick story of the first time, even though I was incredibly successful on the internet already, that I truly sat back, and I was at the airport in Dubai, in fact, and I was like, Christ, this is just ridiculous. I'm the luckiest man alive. I built this list at that time, maybe 12,000 subscribers. So let me just tell you what happened. So it was the end of 2008, I believe, and flew out to Dubai to then get the plane to Mali and went to the Maldives. And we hired this exact water bungalow here. I was out there for 10 days. A 5-star resort, absolutely awesome place. And it was the first time since being successful online that I decided to take a break without working. Everything else that I'd done traveling across Europe, and I'd been to the States a few times, a lot of working meetings and everything else. And I never really switched off. And this was a promise to the ex-girlfriend that I was going to switch off and I wasn't going to work. Now, what happened is we landed in the Maldives, and 3 days into the holiday, I was just like, I've got to check my email. I just wanted to know what was going on, make sure there wasn't any problems or anything else. So I got my laptop and I got an internet connection at the bar by the swimming pool. And I'm not just saying this to flower this story up. It was literally an infinity pool, amazing weather, beautiful sea, luxury environment. I'm sat there with my laptop, checking my email, and I got an email from a guy who I'd been speaking with several weeks before about a product he was launching, and he wanted me to be a JV affiliate for him. So I'm reading this email, and in this email it's like, this is Stuart, where you can log into your affiliate back office. This is where you can get your link, and you can obviously promote the product. And I really believed in this product. It was a visualization, self-development based product. And I thought, you know what, sod it, I'm going to market, but I didn't want to tell my girlfriend that I was working because I promised that I wouldn't. So this was the quickest marketing strategy that I've ever done. So here I am, I'm sat there, I told the girlfriend that I was popping back to the room, I wouldn't be long. I'm sat there, literally at my laptop, writing this email to my list, like, you've got to check out this link. This email was probably no more than 5 or 6 lines long, saying, hey, this is Stuart Ross, I'm just shooting you an email. In fact, I'm out in the Maldives, I shouldn't even be sending this email, the girlfriend will go mad. I'm telling my list everything. And I've said, but I really wanted to recommend, I've taken the time out to recommend this product, and I want you to go and check it out. Bang, sent the email, go back to my room, put the laptop back down to see the girlfriend. Suspicious or not, I don't know, but like normal at that time, she was bitter and all the rest of it. So lying down, I was like, I've only brought you out to the Maldives, love, and everything else. But, this is the point. I forgot about that email, and this is a gospel true story. I forgot about that email, carried on with the rest of the holiday. Flew back on the seaplane back to Mali back to Dubai. When I was at Dubai airport, I'm sat there and I'm checking my emails, and I logged into my affiliate account and I'd made 13 grand in sales from that email. 13,000. This was on a $997 product. I received a $497 or $500 commission for selling that. And I sold a boatload of them. Now, I'm sat there thinking, no way, this is wrong. This can't be the right amount. I'd made 2 grand more than what my nearly 10 grand holiday cost me to go 5-star, first class travel with Emirates, everything. It was the first time I'd ever really splashed out, went wild, as you can see. I mean, ridiculous. You get there and it's like, this is just, I can't even believe this exists on the planet. And I came back and I had that realization. And it wasn't until that point, even though I was doing list building, and even though I was promoting, it wasn't until that point that I actually realised, like, shit, this is incredible. This is like the most amazing push-button money that you can ever phantom on doing. And what I realised at that point was that there are a lot of systems on the internet where people talk about push-button money, and everyone sold that dream and wishes to have that dream. And this is the point, is if you lay the right foundations, if you build a list, which is what we're going to be talking about, and you have a relationship with that list and they're responsive, it is push-button money. We didn't even do an email to fill this room today. Literally, it was a coffee call. I think Martin did do that last-minute email. But it was literally because we have proven buyers. Martin mentioned, Stuart needs to do a workshop. He wants to do a workshop. It's going to be a great opportunity to meet him, blah, 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 blah. People, we fill a room up. Now, you can imagine if I'd sent an email to my list, let alone SFM, my list saying I was running an event. I mean, I could have filled out this hotel from an email, because that's how powerful it is when you really get to grips with email marketing. Now, you'll know from my tone and my voice how passionate I am about this. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is because push-button money does exist. And that is exciting. If you don't get excited about push-button money, you're in the wrong room. Because Christ, it is like one of the most amazing feelings that you can ever have. Now, with automation and autoresponders, what I'm just going to touch on now is that this is, again, more for people that will be watching this online, but you have to have an autoresponder, because gone are the days where you collect an Excel CSV or a sheet of subscribers and names and do BCC and log into Express or whatever, Outlook, and then BCC everyone and hit send and hope that they get sent. Those days are long gone, and they shouldn't have existed in the first place. But in my opinion, when people say, what is the best thing that's ever been invented online, it's the autoresponder. It is without a doubt the autoresponder. You create your web forms, you collect the names and email addresses, and they are real people. What I find funny is our business now gets maybe 600 leads a day across our internet marketing business. That's without going into the niches. So 500-600 leads a day are coming in. That's 500 or 600 people. Does anybody know any local shops that get 500 or 600 people going into it? It just doesn't happen. And that doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing, from the work that I've laid, the foundations, the article marketing, video marketing, all the stuff that we teach. It's creating residual traffic, affiliates and everything else. And I'm going to be teaching you today my #1 strategy that we utilise to generate that level of leads. And this strategy right now we're not even using, and when we do start using it, and the reason we're not using it, when I say is we're not using it in our internet marketing niche, that's nearly all affiliate driven traffic and some of my own PPC and stuff like that. But this is how I do all my niche marketing, the traffic that I'm going to be teaching you. And you know, it's like, has anyone here up to 10 leads a day in their business on their autoresponder? Nobody up to 10 leads a day? 10 leads a day, this is what people don't realise, is that it's not a numbers game as such. If you can do the numbers as well as the quality, you're laughing. But I have students who are at 10 leads a day, no more than 10 leads a day, but good targeted leads who are six-figure businesses. 10 leads a day. As I just said, we're up to 500-600 leads a day in this marketplace. Okay, you can imagine why we're laying the foundations to build a multiple seven-figure business. Now, when you see the doom and gloom reports, internet marketing is dead. When you see, you know, this method isn't working, this message, this isn't that, I'm telling you now, it always has offline. Marketers, the way they used to make their money offline would be through direct mail, snail mail, classifieds, and then postage and packaging and collecting names and email addresses and home addresses. It's no different with email. What you're doing is you're collecting the email address. And offline marketing isn't dead. I don't care what anyone says. In fact, offline marketing complementing online marketing is one of the most powerful strategies that exists today. If you can do both, you're absolutely laughing. But the point being is when people say to me, you know, the internet, the newbie days are gone, you know, the get-rich-quick days are gone and everything else, well, to an element they have. But if you learn list building and you build a relationship with those subscribers, why wouldn't you make money? It doesn't matter what technology is doing, okay? Things might get tougher, I don't know, maybe I will need more subscribers to make the same amount of money. What I do know is that list building categorically is without a doubt the biggest investment that I've learned in terms of learning how to do it and actually implement it in my business that has enabled me to move forward today. And where we are in our business now is like segmentation. When I started online, this is how I teach my students to get started, would have a list per niche. So if I was focusing on internet marketing or make money online, that would be one list. If I was on organic food or weight loss or anything else, that would be separate lists. With technology such as Infusionsoft, which is way too advanced for you guys in the room today, you can then segment from actions. So when people click links, when they actually go through to various different pages, when they buy. I have buyers lists, I have subscribers lists, I have webinar attendee lists, I have lists of people who attend webinars and drop off. So I could email those people and say, hey, you didn't stay to the end. It is ridiculous what you can do with technology. Now that is way ahead of where you need to be to build a six-figure business. Let's get the six-figure business. But this is new to me. This year, my biggest learning has been how to segment those subscribers, how I can get names and then turn them into addresses, and then I can complement offline with online, and it's just crazy. And the crazy thing is I can literally go into my account of Infusionsoft, I can select a specific list, UK only, addresses, print off labels, do a quick direct mail message, I can email them, follow up. You know, if it's on email, I can email the people that haven't opened my email. So send an email to 500 people, let's say 300 don't open it. I know the 300 people that haven't opened it. I can try another title and send it to them. It is crazy what you can do with technology, but it all starts with actually list building and making sure that you're leveraging it as a means to an end and a way of actually growing your business. Okay, so why follow-up is so crucial? Now, many of you probably heard it takes 7 times for someone to see your message before they take action. Okay, we have a 7-day boot camp. It wasn't just out of the blue. We decided that that would be a great strategy because 7 videos, that would be 7 times they see us, 7 times for them to get the chance to really get them to come in, try us out. But the point being is that I know for a fact that many of my subscribers have been on my list for a year and a half before taking action. Is there anyone here that's been on my list for over a year that's only recently got started, just out of interest? No one in here?
I've been on your list for about 4 years, but I didn't buy a product from you until you launched something.
There you go. So, okay, so Richard on my list for 3 years, or 3.5 years or whatever, before he took any action. Follow-up is crucial. And if you don't appreciate how important follow-up, relationship building is, you're never going to gain momentum in your business. I'm telling you now, everybody in this room, I don't make money driving traffic to a sales page and people buying stuff. Don't do it. It's not how I make money. I make money with my list building, and this is what we're going to be covering so you really understand the foundational stuff here. So naturally, learning marketing and strategy, you're going to learn how to drive traffic. It's going to be part of today. It's a fundamental part of your business. Your learning curve of generating traffic will never end. I'm sorry to tell you that. I, to this day, still always look to improve my traffic, grow my traffic. We have affiliate traffic, we have PPC traffic, joint venture traffic, affiliate, e-sign traffic, SEO. We get traffic through multiple ways. Although it seems overwhelming to start with, something I will be talking about is how you pick a strategy, you learn it and you move on. But this is going to be important. If you don't have traffic, you're not going to make money. So you drive that traffic to the squeeze page, say landing page, opt-in page. Okay. I'm going to teach you later the different types of sites and to really help you understand, again, your foundational knowledge. But typically, landing pages is where you're going to generate as much of your traffic as you can. Not to blogs, not to sales pages, landing pages. Why? Because that's how you get people on your list. A landing page will convert 20, 30, 40, 50 times better than what a web form will on a blog. If you're driving most of your traffic to a blog or a site with multiple pages right now, you are losing massive levels of subscribers. There's too much distraction, a boatload of information. A squeeze page makes a promise. Free video reveals how you can steal my Facebook strategies to build a super responsive list of thousands of subscribers in just 30 days or less. A promise. Okay? So I make a promise. For their name and email address, what do? I deliver that promise. So name and email address, I deliver that promise. Okay? Now what you don't want to do is make a promise that you can't deliver. If you say you're going to give a 30-page report, don't even give a 29-page report. Give a 30-page report. Such a crucial part. When you're considering the markets that you're going for, what are their hot buttons? If you look across various different niches, let me tell you a bit about when I started in the make money online market, when I started teaching. Okay, so this was after doing affiliate marketing, everything else. I started to learn marketing and I wanted to do what I teach a lot of our affiliates. I started recommending marketing products, training products. I started to really blog and teach and talk a lot about in my videos why you've got to learn marketing, the importance of learning marketing. And I was an affiliate. Some of you will know from YMB, I did over $1 million in YMB sales. And I'd always focus on why you've got to teach marketing, why marketing is such a fundamental aspect. But do you know what? That market is vast. How big is the make money online market? It's vast. So what I did to start out to separate myself is I actually targeted real estate agents because that was my area of expertise. So I started creating videos and content. My blog promise, my landing page promise was directed at real estate agents. You know, and it was basically, you know, how can you learn marketing online to get more customers? How can you learn to market and grow your business? Or one of the biggest things that I was doing at the time is real estate got you broke. Real estate got you broke. Same for me. Learn about how I got out of the real estate industry and started making money online. And I was targeting that market. The point of what I'm making is this landing page made a promise to my target market and it delivered that promise to that person. Okay? And just a little lesson that I wasn't really even intending to discuss is, you know, you want to gear that landing page as close to your market as possible. So not just make money online, you know, really target it, if you can, drill down to the people that you're targeting, stay-at-home mums, stay-at-home dads, whatever it is that you're targeting. There's nothing wrong with having 50 different landing pages with the same delivery of content. Just target your audience in a different way because you'll get better conversions. Don't drive your traffic to blogs or anything else. We'll talk about where blogs come in handy. We'll talk about why you have a squeeze or a form on your blog. We'll talk about sales pages. It is confusing when you get started, but I'll make sure that you leave today incredibly clear. So you make the promise, enter their name and email address, they join your list, you deliver value. Give first, sell second. Fundamental part that most people don't get. And if they do get it, they don't do it. How many times have I consulted with people that said, yeah, I understand all that stuff, well, what are you delivering? And that's value, is it? The way I look at it is if your competitors are giving 3 videos, give 4. If your competitors are giving a 20-page report, give a 30-page report. Always try and do more. The more value you provide, the quicker you will build that relationship, the better that relationship will be. There is no reason that anybody in this room, nor anybody else who wants to make money online, can't deliver value, whether you're going into a market that you're an expert in or not. I think everybody will agree with outsourcing, with content, with this stuff that affiliate owners or product owners give you to affiliate their product, you can create massive value, and it's an excuse if you think you can't. I go into multiple markets where I'm not an expert, yet I still create massive value for those people. And the chances are, yeah, I don't know categorically that what I'm delivering is spot on and truthful and 100%, but business does take some risks. And what I do is make sure I find the best of the best, and then I just try and duplicate or even better what they're doing. I look at what they're doing. When I was an affiliate, let me give you an example. SFM affiliates. Why is it that some people have already built residual income of thousands of dollars? And I'm not just saying that. We've already got, before we've even launched SFM Elite, we have members in SFM who earn thousands of dollars recurring commissions, and we have members that earn nothing. And the reason being, as I would categorically say, obviously they've got the traffic bit right, but for the majority of them is they give more value than other people in that market. Not just SFM, that's like for like. You know, I mean, I have been the top producer and top earner in multiple different companies where other people have said it's too competitive, there's too many people doing it. No, I just deliver more value, and therefore I'm going to get more customers and more sales. I'm better at delivering that value. If you're getting traffic right now and leads, but you're not converting sales, then ask yourself, are you giving enough value? Are you building that relationship? And then you can promote products and you're going to make money. And I will go into depth, and we'll get the flip chart out, and I'm going to show you some stuff to really make sure it's really clear on your head. As I said at the start, I believe that this industry is way overcomplicated. People make it far harder. I've been watching some of these doom and gloom and this, that and the other. For my own sanity, my own peace of mind, as I was saying earlier, I wasn't joking when I said, you know, I'd built this product to pay for the Range Rover. When I went into that market, I'll be honest, at that time, I'm just being totally truthful. I had some self-doubt. And I was like, God, you know, I haven't done a niche business for a while. You know, a lot of people are saying this, a lot of people are saying that, and I was worried. But do you know what? Rather than sitting there worrying about what everyone else was saying, I just made sure I delivered value to that customer audience. And do you know what? The business flourished. You know, still to this day, I've got recurring billing payments, and I will continue to build that business and grow that business. I actually have affiliates now that have found it, because it's a ClickBank product. I have affiliates that are promoting that I've never met in my life, you know, and they're promoting that product because they've recognised as affiliate, well, this guy is delivering a load of value. And that's why SFM, we're constantly looking to improve the value, hence why we're here today, to improve the value that we can deliver to prospects or potential prospects or people at the beginning of the funnel, so that they're going to be encouraged to keep moving forward and keep going. So, funded proposals. Anybody here? Actually, let me ask it another way. Can everyone raise their hands? Can you lower your hand? I'll tell you why I'm doing this in a minute. Can you lower your hand if you know what a funded proposal is? Okay, great. Thanks very much. No, the only reason I asked you to do it that way round is because I thought it was a bit of a lazy crowd today and people couldn't be bothered to put their hands up. Okay, so quite a few of you don't know what funded proposals are. I'm going to do the funded proposal stuff, and then we'll break for lunch. This concept absolutely put my business on steroids. Now, it wasn't a case of that I implemented this and I became really successful online. I was already successful online. What this principle did for me was took me from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures in the matter of a couple of months, maybe 6, 7 weeks. Can you imagine how that feels? When you're like already doing well and you learn a new strategy, or you get this new implementation idea and you apply it, and then suddenly your business is like crazy. What I want to do for every single one of my affiliates is to enable them to experience how powerful funded proposals are and what it can do for your list building. Because until you experience it, there's just nothing like it. I just honestly say, I mean, I can make money, which I'll talk about list building these days. A lot of my projects, I still lose money. For the majority of businesses, they're going to lose money doing their marketing. Everyone agree? Whether it's offline or not, you're going to spend money, and then hopefully you're going to make enough money to make a profit and be able to pay that. I can literally make money whilst I'm list building because of this concept. So not only am I gaining new customers, you know, I'm actually making money through the process. When I learned this from... I don't know who to really give the original credit to, because I heard the term from an MLM guy I was following, but I think the guy that really I learned this from was a guy called Rich Sheffron. And I read his report, and my God, it was a light bulb. It was like, Christ, this just makes sense, because it's like, does 3 or 4 of the most important things online, yet makes you more money. Do people want to know how to do, make more money through using funded proposals? Good. So as I said, this concept will help you tremendously in your list building and fund bigger and better advertising. There's no secret that the guys that are making the most money online probably have the biggest advertising budgets, okay? I have regularly spent between £4,000 and £5,000, $7,000 and $8,000 a week on PPC, okay? Now, if somebody told me that when I first got started, that's what they were spending, I would have just thought, Christ, what's the point in even trying? I'm never going to have that budget. But I didn't start with that budget. My budget, and I'm often asked this question, and I'll just be frank about it, is I didn't start with zero budget. You often hear a lot of people say, oh, I started doing Facebook and articles and this, that, and the other, and now I'm a millionaire. I'm one of those guys, I'll give you an example away from internet marketing. Let me try and think of something. So, as I said, when I first got started, I got really unfit and I lost weight and I was unhealthy. And like a lot of things, it dawns on you and you sort of wake up and realise your situation. It's like, shit, I'm skin, or shit, I'm fat, or, oh God, I'm really skinny. And so I signed up to the gym, and within 2 or 3 weeks, didn't really see much. Appetite went up a little bit. Didn't really feel good in myself. Always want to be slim, don't get me wrong, but I was like just properly ill. Looked like I had some sort of disease. And I was like, this isn't happening. I'm getting really fed up with this. So rather than give up, I went to GNC and I went and got some supplements. And I got some protein shakes and I got some creatine. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I started to see some really different results. I started to see some really good gains. And the reason I tell you that is that's what I'm like in life. I'm one of those people, which I think a lot of people relate to. Others are much more patient than me. Whereas if I don't see results quickly, I lose interest. And I think to myself, that if it hadn't been for the internet, would I have been that successful? Well, I've already told you it did quite well in the corporate world, but I think I'd have probably just stuck at that, been maybe a 6-figure earner. A lot of the guys that were doing well then, like a lot of recruitment guys, estate agents, they're not earning anything like the money they were because of the economy. And I do kind of think that, if it hadn't been for the vision that I could make this happen fast, I probably wouldn't have ever really been an entrepreneur and stepped out and made that risk or try and start anything. The thing that sold me most was that I could do it quick. And that was exactly the same with the gym. Another analogy I'll share with you whilst we're talking on that topic is that I was saying like a lot of people overcomplicate making money on the internet. And I see the same all the time with people that want to lose weight or gain weight. Does anyone know the secret to losing weight? How many books, strategies, ideas are there of how to lose weight 1,000,001 different ways? And how much money is there? How many people invest money in these books and courses and Atkinson diet and this diet and that diet and the anorexic diet and everything else? There's literally books on everything, 1,000,000 different strategies, yet not offending anyone, but how many people struggle to just lose weight, yet they just eat less and exercise more? Same for me. I wanted to put weight on. What did I do? I had to go to the gym, lift a little bit of heavier weights, and I needed to get more fuel, get more food, get more calories. And I went back. I went in 6 or 7 months from taking like protein shakes to help me along the way. I went back from my unhealthy 10 stone 8 back up to like 13 stone within a few months. Now the point that I'm making in a very roundabout way is that 2 points. First of all, people do complicate making money online. You build a list, you promote products. You eat less, you work out more. That is the point. And that's how I try to look at everything. But it's exactly the same when I look at the principles of trying to effectively make this happen quickly, is that when I took those protein shakes, I got more results faster. And that's what happened when I started spending money on marketing. So I started spending money on advertising like I started spending money on protein shakes. And then what happened was that I started to get momentum and I started to think, well, actually, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Actually, this is starting to happen. Now, I showed you earlier an example of a student, Johnny, who spent 3-4 months doing free advertising because the guy was absolutely broke. He got £2,000 for a clinical trial. He gave that, every penny of that to me to coach him. And I told him what he had to do, and he worked his balls off in free advertising and free marketing. And even when he was making money, despite what I said, chuck money back in. He didn't. He wanted to keep every penny, and he carried on doing free marketing. So it's very, very possible. But when I look across the board, my most successful students who have done it the quickest, the same for me, we've leveraged our information, the knowledge that we've got, and we've spent money in marketing. And what I want to try and do today with this concept of understanding funded proposals is give you the confidence at some point in the future to really feel confident about spending money on advertising. So, okay, as I said, you may find that you even find marketing. So a funded proposal, as I said, is designed so that when you're marketing something that you're converting and you're making sales. Now, the problem that I had in my business, and I know a lot of offline businesses have, is I was selling, one of the first products that I was selling was $997, and then if they didn't take that, there was a downsell. So my business model was I would spend money on advertising, and then I would hopefully make sales. And that did start happening for me. What would happen is I'd maybe spend $400 or $500 in advertising, and I'd get $997 back. So I'd get like $1,000 commissions. I'd be like, oh, great, I've spent 500, just get 500, brilliant. That's how I built my six-figure business, exactly doing that. Then I came across this principle of funded proposals, and what it was basically effectively saying to me is, how would you like to cover your advertising spend, and then all your back end and future offers you're going to make a killing, you're going to make a bunch of money on. So no-brainer, yeah, I want to learn this strategy. So effectively, let me just explain actually before we move on. So what you're effectively doing is you're marketing a product. If you can make this notes in your own words, you're marketing a product to your potential subscribers or your buyers, your list buyers, right at the start or very early on, which is low cost but massive value. Okay, so maybe we're talking about a $20 ebook, which other people were selling for $97. But what you want to do is you want to create massive value to build a killer relationship and to start monetizing your traffic and start monetizing your business as quickly as possible. So let's say you spend, so we're going to base this on a $20 product, and you'll understand why. Let's say you spend $300 to drive 1,000 visitors to your landing page. Now, I'll go back again just because I want to make sure you really get this. What I would do is I would spend an amount of money on driving traffic. So let's say $300, 1,000 clicks, and I might get $997 back. I'd make $700. You know, it's a business. It's how most people operate. Let's say if your landing page converts at 20%, which is about normal across most niches. It depends on the quality of your traffic. Not all traffic is created as equal. Some of my landing pages get 45% conversion. Some of my landing pages get 6% conversion. But let's just say, for the example, that your landing page is getting a 20% conversion of traffic on a half-decent, quality. That would give you 200 leads. So $300 on marketing got you 200 leads would mean that your cost per lead is $1.50. Not overly important, but I always like to try and understand and get to grips. Well, what's a lead? A lead being someone entering their name and email address. So understand that not every bit of traffic is going to convert into a lead, obviously. 1,000 visitors at a cost of $300 would be 30 cents a visitor. Again, it's just nice to know your metrics for the future. It's not something that's overly important right now, but 30 cents a visitor, you look at it like that and you think, crikey, that's quite a lot of money. 30 cents, 20p, just to get someone to look at my site. Therefore, your $300 in traffic got you 200 leads. And I'm going to be talking to you today and teaching you today the strategy that I use to get this kind of traffic for this amount of money and less. So don't sit there thinking, yeah, it's great philosophy, but how do you actually do it? I'm going to teach you how to do it. So this is the cool part. Let's say you're able to convert 10%, okay, 10% of your leads into buys within the first 2 weeks with a high quality product at a low cost. So I really want to stress this point. I have often in my funded proposals, and I'm not joking, sold products that I could sell for $300 or $500, and I've sold them for $20. Now, most people would be like, that is insane. You're selling a product that you could sell for $400 for $20. That is absolutely insane. Why on earth would you do that? Well, it will all become very clear. The point being that you need to know right now, trust me, those kind of products convert. When you find out the cost that we'll be promoting for this product that we're filming today, you'll understand that I absolutely practice what I preach. So if you're selling something for $20, that would generate you $400 in sales. Make sense, yeah? Everyone following that? Take out the $300 for the traffic, you're $100 up. Great example. So you're driving leads. Within the first 2 weeks of their opting in, they're making a decision, and they're purchasing this product that you've created as a first offer that they're going to get. Now, what happens is twofold. First of all, you start cash flowing, pretty damn good for any business. Secondly, how good is your relationship going to be when someone thinks, Christ, this is the best 20 bucks I've ever spent? Are they going to become repeat buyers? Are you going to increase the lifetime customer value of that person? This is absolutely what has completely transformed my business, and I believe this is one of the key of a few principles that's enabling me to build towards a multiple seven-figure business. Yet, when I look at most business owners, most entrepreneurs, most online marketers, what are they trying to learn? They're trying to learn how can I achieve more money through better sales tactics for the same product. So how can I sell a $200 product for $300? How can I sell a $300 product for $500? That's what most people teach. That's what most people think is, in principle, is going to make the most amount of sense. But we're on the internet. There's a massive amount of people. We're selling information products. We can afford to let go an amazing product for a lot less to gain that original trust, to gain that original relationship. The minute you start doing that, I don't care what market, what niche you're in, you will start to realise that you've got customers for life and you're cash flowing your business. How many people think cash flowing their business when they're spending out on marketing is going to help them? Yeah? Good. So this is the really cool part. You now have 200 people on your list, from what we've just said as an example. 20 buyers. This is, first of all, something you have to appreciate. A buyer is a buyer. You guys, I can categorically say everybody in this room has bought from me more than once, because you couldn't have been here today if you hadn't bought from me. A buyer is the warmest market. How did I fill this room today without even trying? I don't say that in an arrogant way. Like, it is literally, I've got so much going on right now. It's like, oh, I've got to do a workshop. I really need to create this killer product. Martin, can you do a coffee call? Let someone know I'm doing a workshop. You know why? Because once you've got someone believing in what you're doing, they're following you, they're interested in the products that you've suggested, they're easy. They've got their wallets out. They're ready to buy. It's like, well, you know, if Stuart's doing a workshop, I'm going to be there. If John's promoting his organic food secrets, then I'm going to buy there. If Hillary's promoting her super weight loss program, then I'm going to buy it. Why? Because the first product she sold me was amazing. So rather than thinking like most entrepreneurs is how can I be the best salesperson in the world, which most people don't want to be or aren't naturally, and then get an extra twice as much money than what I should do, let me focus on just delivering massive value and gaining that original relationship. From an internet business perspective, I'm telling you now, it is the best way to build it. So the other thing I want to really highlight is you can now promote other offers to these people, and we're now talking about 100% profit. So if you can cash flow your business through offering massive value on the front end whilst you're list building and then promote for it until they unsubscribe, what's the profit margin on those people? Profit, 100%. You can't do that in other businesses. So when I sell a coaching program, when I sell a workshop, when I sell a DVD course, when I sell a webinar, when I promote anything to these lists of people, from funding my advertising through my front-end offers, it's 100% profit on my own products. If I'm selling affiliate products, I'm receiving, 100% profits on the commissions that I'm receiving. Does that make sense? Okay, so does everyone feel very comfortable? I feel like this is a natural break, and I've got to go into this important part, the SFM formula, which ties in really, really importantly with what we've just discussed, okay? That's not gone over people's heads. Does anyone have any questions right now before we break for lunch? We're going to break for 45 minutes, if that's okay, not an hour. We'll have time to have a chat in that time. Has anyone got any questions on the stuff that we've covered this morning?
So I notice online that more people seem to have the message you've been saying of giving more and more value. Most people are doing boot camps now, and they're looking to kind of stage themselves up. I'm just thinking, how do you keep an head of the market with value?
Okay, so as an affiliate, what you're going to do is you're just going to partner with the leading companies within that marketplace because they're going to be doing it. There's no way it's ever going to get to a point where every market is just free and everything is free information. So it's just basically called raising the free line, and it happens in every market. So let me give you an example. In one niche I'm in, an ebook is still way more than what anybody else is doing. If you can imagine, like, you're an offline business and you are promoting fitted kitchens, how to do luxury kitchens. How many times do you come across a kitchen website that says, download your free report, the 10 things to avoid when purchasing a new kitchen? None. because they don't do it. They don't understand that principle. So an ebook in that market is still very, very good. Now, you're going to be, all of you will be considering the marketing industry, the internet marketing industry. We are the leaders in what we do. We are the best at what we do. Therefore, we're going to be raising that free line, delivering more free information than what other markets will. So as a newbie, you'll be thinking, well, I can't compete with that. So the way that you do is, if you want to be in that marketplace, is you just align yourself with the top people. Now, I'm going to tell you something here, because I am actually quite proud of it. I do believe I've done well online because I've always looked ahead. I've always seen ahead. And it was when I started to think about doing SFM, it was about 18 months ago. And I realised 18 months ago, I was like, I know where the market's going. For me to be able to stay at the top of my game, for me to be able to compete and be able to grow and really be at the forefront of this, I'm going to have to do a shitload of work. And what that meant to stay in this industry is I've invested nearly 200,000 now into our programmers, the guys that are working on 3.0 product creation, everything else that we're doing. We've got the top affiliate tracking software, and everything that we're doing is to enable us to be at the forefront. And I looked at my situation, I'm just going to be really honest with everyone here. I had two choices back then. I either joined the guys who I perceived to be ahead of me then and be an affiliate, or I work my arse off so I can be at the forefront and be the leading company. I genuinely believe, let alone, I don't know where we'll be in the globe, but I'm pretty confident we're going to be one of the UK, if not the leading UK internet marketing training companies over the next 2 or 3 years. I don't believe even the corporates will be able to come in and compete, even with their massive budgets, because they're too far behind on the knowledge, which is what we're talking about. So my answer to that is that, first of all, look at your market, and then look at the free line. What is it that market is offering, and how could we better it? If you're looking at a market that you're passionate about, or you want to be involved with, or you see massive potential, honestly, you've got two options. You try and compete, or you be an affiliate. And as I said at the start of the presentation, you can earn literally, as I have, hundreds and hundreds of thousands by being an affiliate. So what I would do is I would focus on either being confident in markets that you can be at the forefront of your game and get the leading edge, which there's loads of markets out there that could be done. I genuinely believe, and again, it'll probably come across quite arrogant, but I could go into most marketplaces still today, even with everybody who's making money online, within many, many different niches, without massive amounts of financial investment, but through time and adding massive value to that niche market, and compete and build a forefront of the business. Just like I say, what I will highlight is that we're kind of the forefront. I mean, how many times would you opt in on let's look at a big market, weight loss, and get a free 7-day boot camp? You probably still don't really see that. You might see the odd one, but typically, again, it's still ebooks and maybe 1 or 2 videos. And that's one of the biggest markets online. So I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. It's a very good question, but that's how I look at it, is I would look, can I compete? If not, I can be an affiliate. One of the markets we've been building, but have put it on hold, has been the quit smoking market. And I put it on hold because I haven't got the time for it right now. But I can tell you now, if I find that I have time, I don't know is the answer right now. If I have time, beginning half of next year, I will go back to that project. If not, I'll sell what we've done already and move on from it and carry on doing what we're doing, which is looking quite likely, to be honest. But I've done enough research and I'm still aware enough of what's being done out there that I could go out there and build a massive business in that marketplace, alongside many, many others. Again, teaming up with experts who have the knowledge and expertise in those areas, but applying my strategy and knowledge. So does that make sense, yeah?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Any other questions?
Yes, Joe, just going back to this morning, we were talking about sort of people being uneducated in the digital market that we're in now. This was interesting, purely by coincidence. I said to Richard this morning, driving in, and there was the news on Radio 2. And it said that one of the directors of Google is slamming our state education for not educating the kids enough about the digital age that we're going through.
No, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It's something I've seen for ages. And it's not only just the digital age, it's entrepreneurship, full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at my brother, who I was saying earlier, who I'm going to be putting through private school. He's in his junior, he's my half-brother from my mum's second partner. And, I listen to him, he's got no confidence at all. He's at private school now, but not the secondary one. I speak to him about what they're teaching him and everything else, and there's no sort of spur to give them entrepreneurial confidence. And he's at a really good school, you know, all they're still drilling down his throat is, you know, is the typical thing: get a good job, go to university, get a degree, work hard, work your way up the top. But everybody knows the system is broken. I look at all the people that are coming out of university now fighting for jobs, you know, literally fighting for jobs. My partner, who's a fully qualified lawyer, she's gone through all her probation, everything, she's like fully qualified. You know, for her to take work, it was a case of going to London or not at all, you know, because there was too many qualified lawyers outside of London that were just snapping up the jobs. And you know, that's someone with a degree in law. You know, it's just a broken system. And you know, for me, it's the market of that I'm most passionate about is the teaching and coaching through the delivery of information products. And if you look at, you know, I can't remember the name of the guy. There's this guy that they recently framed as the secret billionaire, and he's a guy in the US. He's an older guy as well. Like, I think he's way into his 70s, you know, he's made billions of dollars in the last 4 years with online education. He's a billionaire, and they're doing coaching and training in various different sectors online. And I just know that that really is a market that can go into. And if you actually break down sub niches and niches within niches, there's just so much potential. It's just learning how to position yourself as that person delivering that content. And like I was saying, is that I don't look at it now as I have to be an expert in every field. I do class myself as an expert now as an online marketer and everything else, but you know, I can very easily apply my strategies to other experts, which is where I was getting the most sleepless nights, because the potential was just vast. It's like, you know, every time I have a conversation, I had a rule from my girlfriend that I can't talk business when we go out with socialise, because I literally get in that frame of mind. I'm like talking to someone, I want to help them. I'm sorry, I'm just going to quickly share a quick story with you. I love my stories. So I went golfing a couple of weeks ago with my friend Carl and my mate Lee. He's a fireman at Farnborough Airport. And he was asking my advice. I'm quite fortunate around my friends. They do think I'm a bit of a legend when it comes to like business and everything. I kind of like that environment. And so we're on the way down. I like talking to these two guys particularly because they're both in the corporate world, but they're really positive. I mean, what I experienced when I first started doing really well was some negativity, jealousy and everything else. But these two guys have been friends right from when I was like in my corporate job. Always been like, you know, what you've done is amazing, this, that and the other. But Lee is a guy that I don't see a huge amount of because he's under the thumb. And we were going up to Cardiff to play golf at the Wells National, and he was talking to me about this thing that he's doing with betting. And he was saying, like, I've got this formula that I've been following, and it's this betting formula, and it's not the roulette. It's a football betting thing. And he's like completely convinced that this is making him, he's already saying it's making him thousands, it's making his brother thousands. He's not a bullshitter either. And he's doing quite well with it. You know, he's maybe making a couple of grand a month on top of his fireman's salary doing this. And he's got this like system, which, to be honest with you, I know nothing about gambling. I go to Vegas and all I do is lose money. But, you know, he's telling me about this formula that he's doing and how it's working and how he's like backing his bets, and he's doing all of this stuff. And he's saying to me, you know, I'd love to show you because, you know, you've got more money to leverage to put into it. And I just said to him, look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not interested whatsoever in betting. It's just not something that floats my boat. I believe it is a bit of a mug's game. I think everyone will typically come out worse off. It's just what I believe, probably because that's how my dad always sold it to me and my experiences in Las Vegas. And so I'm driving down, I'm sitting there, and we went over the bridge and everything into Wales, and I'm sat there and I'm thinking, Lee, do you know what, mate? Like, this formula sounds awesome. You're doing really well with it. You're proving it. Like, rather than actually betting, why don't you teach this shit? There must be so many people online who are interested in football that you could target through Facebook and everything else that want to learn this stuff. It doesn't float my boat, but I don't disrespect the fact loads of people love betting and everything else. I was like, do you know what I would do? I would create a training product with a mini membership site, selling the strategies, selling the tips that you're doing, if you're good to your word and it's working. And then what I would do is I would reserve a percentage of your business profits for the gambling. Everything in business is gambling. You're betting, you know, you're advertising, you're marketing. It's still a bit of a gamble. So I said, you know, if you make 5,000 in your business, spend, you know, 500 or 1,000 back into your gambling to fund, you know, the training that you're doing. Anyway, cutting a long story short, I got out and I thought, actually, I'm bloody right. You know, what I'm saying here, he could definitely build a really successful business with. And the guy has actually literally been emailing me the last couple of weeks. He's showing me other products that are out there, what other people are doing. And just to give you an idea, as someone that understands strategy, I was able to go back to him within a few emails and say, this is all the things that they're doing wrong. And if this is the best you can find, and you know this guy's doing really well teaching this stuff, there's a massive market there. But, you know, the guy that's probably teaching that probably isn't a marketer, he probably is a really good gambler, thought, do you know what, I can teach this stuff, he's got himself out there and he's probably doing all right with it. But I could literally team up with someone like Lee, if it was something I was passionate about, apply my strategy, go out there and teach this stuff, target through social media, Facebook ads, etc., attracting people that we know are into the UK Premiership, even people that have got gambling in their likes and interests through Facebook, etc., target that market and really build a solid business, enabling him to take a percentage of that and do what he loves doing, which is bloody gambling. But, you know, the reason I share that story with you is because this happens literally for me all the time. I say that because it's the most recent time. I will go for dinner, I'll go for meals, and I'll meet people that have got a passion, an interest, they're an expert in an area. And I just think, Christ, you know, they've got so much potential to leverage that information. And that's what that is, like I was saying at the start of this presentation, my mission is to give people the foundational knowledge to enable them to go out and apply that. Whether it's to go out and teach it and help other people, or whether it be to do it in their own interest, in their own businesses, because it's just such an amazing thing to be able to do. And what I'll finish up now, and then we definitely will break up for lunch before any other stories, is what happens is that your confidence grows as you do more products. And what happened with me is, I said, I keep failing forward, like I keep making mistakes and things don't happening. But it's like anything, as you become more experienced, you can make more informed decisions. And, you know, people always say to me, like, market research, keyword research and everything else. Now, I don't say this a lot. I've honestly made the most amount of money through common sense. It actually hasn't been the Google keyword tool, Wonder Wheel. It really hasn't, if I'm just honest. It has been common sense. It's been like, there's definitely a market out there. I understand the strategy, which is the stuff that I'm teaching you, front-end offers, funded proposals, SFM formula, which I'm going to be showing you. And I've been applying it, and it just works. It just works time and time again. The big problem that I see, and this is what I say now before we go on to lunch and the SFM formula, the biggest problem I see across markets is how deep you can go. So when I say how deep you can go, when I explain the funnel, there's a lot of markets that I've considered where it's just impossible to get more than $200 or $300 for a product. And that doesn't mean they're not profitable, but every market that I've gone into where we can get up to 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, the most expensive market, self-development market where I was selling workshop for $18,000, you know, that is where I've made the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. And that's what I believe is a key part of leverage. Leverage is achieving more with doing less. For me, leverage, the big part, people say, what's leverage? Work less, earn more. That's everything I'm trying to achieve in what I do. It's, you know, how can I help more people working less? How can I earn more money working less? That's what I'm always trying to do. And that's the one thing I will say, you know, because we're not going into depth on product creation today or market selection, is that, you know, you when you do go into your markets, one of the key things I look for is what are people prepared to pay. So, example, when Lee was driving down, I wouldn't have known this, but his brother, who I was saying also did well, went on to a workshop in London where he paid £500 for a one-day workshop to learn this gambling stuff. So therefore I knew that, you could scale that business model by having consultants or coaches that you could charge to teach the stuff. And typically within most markets, even from the weight loss and everything else, one of the quickest ways to leverage high ticket commissions is by partnering or being the coach and trainer and providing mentoring or services, which is something that I realised has served me incredibly well, but I also realised that it wasn't scalable. So people always say to me, you know, what I teach my students, is it what I'm doing now? And it's not. And the reason being is that I made a lot of money very, very quickly when I started coaching and consulting, but it's not what I choose to do now. I have the odd client, like in this room I've got Scott, but I take on, Martin, what do you reckon, 1 or 2 clients maximum a month these days? And it's because Martin like sells me the dream. He's like, this person is like amazing, they're going to do brilliant things and everything else. He gets commission on the sales. And then I get them and they don't take any action. I'm joking. But you know, the reality of the situation is that, you know, what I'm teaching today is 0 to 6 figures. So the way that I would judge a product or an opportunity or a market, I should really say, is what would be an easy way for me to get high ticket sales out of that, which we'll cover in the SFM formula. So before I talk any more, what we'll do is we'll break for lunch. If we could make it, if we could have everyone back in the room, please, for 1:15, and we'll move on with the SFM formula.
Just 2 things for me, guys.